Goodness with care from our villages. Arokya Milk.
Welcome to episode 18 of the Mahabharata with Anuja. Now Dronacharya had passed away on the 15th day of the battle, and the supreme command was given to Karna, and Duryodhana turned to him and he said, Bhishma as well as Drona have failed me, but I am very, very confident that my best friend will never let me down. And Karna knew in his heart that he was going towards his death. He knew his time was running out, but he smiled at his friend. He put his arm around his shoulder. He said, while there's life left to me, I will always act in your best interest. And he rode into battle, and he did an amazing job because Karna was a mighty warrior, and he did his duties as a commander very, very well. And there was a lot of damage done to the Pandava side on the 16th day. Now on the 17th day, Karna had made up his mind. He approached Duryodhana and he said, today I'm going to invite Arjuna to single combat, and either he will be killed or I will be killed. That is a promise. But there's just something I need to discuss with you. And then he said, Arjuna has that Gandiva. It's a celestial bow, but my bow Vijaya is not lacking in any way. So in that sense we are equals. But the problem is Krishna, his charioteer. We both know that he does more than a regular charioteer's duties. He controls the ebb and flow of the battle on his fingertips. So I need somebody comparable to be my charioteer. And King Shalya of Madra, he's like the best charioteer ever. So you should ask him to be my charioteer. He will refuse if I ask. And Duryodhana immediately went to Shalya, and the request was made. And Shalya, who's the uncle of Nakula and Sahadeva, he threw a big fit and he said, how dare you insult me like this? The charioteer's son wants me to ride his chariot. I am a king, I will not do it. And Duryodhana said, why are you thinking that I am insulting you? This is actually a compliment. I am saying that you're Krishna's equal. So isn't that a great honor which we are doing for you? So Duryodhana had that silken tongue, and when he wanted, he could just say the right things. So Shalya could not refuse, and he agreed. But earlier, when Duryodhana managed to use a bit of trickery to get Shalya to fight on his side, Yudhishthira would have extracted a promise from him. He would have foreseen just this. He would have told Shalya, uncle, Duryodhana would definitely ask you to be Karna's charioteer, but you must do everything in your power to demoralize him, insult him, humiliate him, do whatever it takes to bring his morale down. And Shalya would have agreed. So he'll tell Duryodhana, okay, I will do it, but he should not forget that I am a king. He better not treat me like a charioteer. I will say whatever I want, okay? And it was agreed. And the two of them rode into battle, and Shalya kept up a steady, dialogue. He would say, who do you think you are? You're not worth, a fingernail of Arjuna's. You're going to die today, you're going to die. He kept talking like this, and Karna and Shalya kept arguing, and finally, meanwhile, on the other side of the battlefield, Bhima had been killing all of Duryodhana's brothers one by one, the 100 Kauravas. He'd been working his way through the ranks of the Kaurava brothers, and almost all of them were killed. Only Dushasana and Duryodhana remained. And Bhima and Dushasana clashed at that point, and it was a horrible sight because both of them did not even fight like human beings. It was like watching savage beasts, and Bhima prevailed, obviously, because he was driven by that rage and hatred, by the memory of what they'd done to Draupadi. And when he defeated Dushasana, he said, this was the hand that disrobed my wife, and he ripped out the arm and he threw it across the battlefield, and while the blood was spurting from his arm, he tore open his chest and he drank that blood, and he started screaming like a fiend. He said, my oath has been fulfilled. I've killed the monster who insulted my wife. And the people gathered around, they were just horrified to see, Bhima, who was usually a gentle giant. So seeing him behave like this, they said, the noble Kuru line has fallen. It's the end of the age. So much evil everywhere. And Duryodhana just fainted because, you know, it happened right before his eyes and he could not stop it. And even Karna was very badly shaken at the sight of Dushasana lying dead like that. And Shalya at that point, he said, okay, Duryodhana needs you, Karna. It's time for you to, you know, do your duty by him. So immediately Karna steeled himself, he consoled Duryodhana and he rode to meet Arjuna. But in the meantime, Arjuna had already gotten his own back. He'd killed one of Karna's sons. His name was Vrishasana. So now Karna had that extra initiative and he challenged Arjuna to a fight. And the two of them prepared and everybody put down their weapons because everybody was watching these two. And the duel began and the gods also came to watch, and everybody couldn't help but notice that for some reason Arjuna was staying his hand and Karna was actually prevailing. And you know, Bhima called out from there. He said, what happened to you, Arjuna? Suddenly Karna is the better warrior. Do you want me to fight him? And Arjuna ignored him, and then Krishna also, you know, tried to encourage him to fight, but something was stopping him. Perhaps blood recognized its own, and Arjuna, for some reason that day, he was very reluctant to attack Karna. And at that point, Karna released the Nagastra, and Krishna immediately, he pressed down on the chariot and it was lowered several inches, and the arrow buried itself in Arjuna's diadem. It was a golden diadem which Indra had gifted to him, and it turned it to ash. Okay, there was so much potent poison in there, and Arjuna was wondering how, you know, this was capable of burning Indra's diadem, and Krishna told him, do you remember Ashwasena, that cowardly serpent? He escaped in Kandharva, remember? That fellow has concealed himself in Karna's arrow, and he tried to kill you using those sneaky techniques. That's why I had to save you. And Karna, meanwhile, he was also disgusted with Ashwasena. Ashwasena went up to him and he said, you missed this time, but use me again, I will kill Arjuna for you. Karna said, I don't need your help and all, I have no use for cowards, you go away, I can handle myself. So Ashwasena took the form of a giant serpent and once more he attacked Arjuna, and Arjuna killed him. Now it was just Karna and Arjuna again. At this point, Parashurama's curse went into effect and Karna couldn't remember any of the mantras, and meanwhile his chariot wheel also sank into the mud, so he had to jump down to free the chariot wheel. And he said, Arjuna, would you kill me when I'm defenseless like this? Is this the code of conduct, you know, the chivalry you claim to practice? And Arjuna hesitated again, and then Krishna said, Karna, you're talking about a code of honor, you're talking about chivalry. It was at your suggestion that Draupadi was dragged to that assembly and disrobed. Were you being honorable when you broke Abhimanyu's bow from behind? He asked like this, and immediately Arjuna, the rage woke in his breast again, and he took an arrow called Anjalika. He fitted it into his bow and he murmured a prayer. He said, if I've always lived my life with honor, let this arrow find its mark. And he released the Anjalika, struck the fatal blow, and Karna, that great but extremely misguided and unfortunate hero, he fell dead. And they say that a spark rose from his chest and united with the sun. It was a heavy blow for the Kauravas, and Duryodhana was extremely disheartened. So the Pandavas carried that particular day, and now we come to day 18, the last day of battle. And Duryodhana got advice from Ashwatthama, and it was decided that King Shalya would lead the Kaurava forces. And Shalya also knew that, time was running out for him, but he did his best. He arranged the forces and he fought well. He acquitted himself very well, but Yudhishthira fought him, and Krishna told him, you were born to slay Shalya, do your duty today, and Yudhishthira took out Shalya. Meanwhile, Sahadeva went after Shakuni. And Shakuni, again, he was a coward, not much of a warrior. He tried to flee, and Sahadeva gave chase, and he said, this is so typical. When it comes to gambling and all, you are very brave. You'll sit in front and you'll talk so much. See how you behave in a battlefield. And Sahadeva dragged Shakuni down from his chariot and killed him. And Shakuni's son Ulluka was killed by Nakula. Now, these two brothers also killed all of Karna's remaining sons as revenge for what had happened to Abhimanyu. And meanwhile, Arjuna and Drishtadyumna, they knew that the battle was drawing to a close. They started killing all the soldiers who were remaining. And all the while, Krishna was searching for Duryodhana. Duryodhana stood in one corner of the battlefield, and he noticed that 11 divisions of his army, his mighty army, not one person remained. Only 3 Maharathis survived. Those were Ashwatthama, Kripacharya and Kritavarma, and they had retreated because they knew that the battle was over. So Duryodhana alone stood in the field. He looked at this carnage. He realized he'd lost all his brothers, his sons, his best friend Karna, and very quietly he went away. He went some distance away from the forest. He knew how to make the waters of the lake stand still. So he entered a lake and he just remained there. And the 3 remaining Kauravas found him. This was Ashwatthama, Kripa and Kritavarma. And Duryodhana told them everything is over. He said, did you know Karna was actually Kunti's son? And she even told him the truth. Even Krishna told him. They told him the truth, hoping to make him unite with the Pandavas. But my best friend wouldn't leave my side. He died for me. And he confided all this. He was very depressed. He said, you all go save your lives. It's all over now. They consoled him as best as they could and then they left. But some hunters had seen this, and Yudhishthira meanwhile had sent spies looking for Duryodhana. He said the battle won't be over till we deal with Duryodhana. So nobody could find him. So when these hunters reported where he was, they were richly rewarded by Bhima, and the Pandavas went there with Krishna and Satyaki. And this time for once Yudhishthira lost his temper. He said, look at your handiwork, Duryodhana. Because of you, so many people have died and you're hiding here like a coward. Come out, let's finish the battle today. And Duryodhana said, I'm tired, I have no weapons, let's fight tomorrow. Yudhishthira said, there's plenty of time for you to rest later, you come out now, let's make an end of it. And he kept screaming for Duryodhana to come out. And finally Yudhishthira said, I'll tell you what, you know, you keep asking if I have honor, but I'm sick of this. You're responsible for everything that has happened. I want things to end today. He said, you pick one of us to fight, choose your weapon, one last duel. Whoever wins gets the kingdom. And at this, Duryodhana emerged from the lake and he smiled at Yudhishthira. He said, people always say you're foolish, you know, but I think it's just your strict adherence to dharma. And then he said, I picked the mace as my weapon, and you should know that I cannot be defeated while I wield a mace. I am the best in the 3 worlds. I will win, Yudhishthira. He smiled at him and he went off to get dressed. And Krishna was furious with Yudhishthira. He said, I don't know when you're going to stop gambling. How can you let him choose his weapon as well as his opponent? What's going to happen if he chooses you? You can barely lift a mace. What about Nakula, Sahadeva? Even Arjuna, he's brilliant, but he's not as good as Duryodhana with a mace. Your gambling keeps getting us into trouble. And Yudhishthira felt really bad. So Bhima said, don't worry, Duryodhana is very arrogant and he hates me the most. He'll choose me only, I will kill him. And like Bhima had said, Duryodhana said, I choose Bhima, and the 2 of them squared off to fight. And Balarama, who hadn't fought in the war, he was their guru and he taught them how to wield the mace. He arrived there and he offered to referee the match. And these two rivals who hated each other like poison, they squared off, and a long hard duel was fought. And it was soon obvious that it was only Bhima's superior strength that was keeping him alive. Duryodhana was too good, he moved like lightning, and every blow of his mace, it landed like a thunderbolt. And Bhima was taking a lot of punishment, and Arjuna was very worried. He said, Krishna, what's going to happen? Tell me. And Krishna said, no, it's only a matter of time. Duryodhana is moving in for the kill and Bhima won't be able to beat him. And Krishna said, I wonder if he remembers his oath. And that was just the clue Arjuna needed. And he started trying to catch Bhima's eye. Bhima, meanwhile, he was like feeling faint because, you know, Duryodhana was leaping up high into the air to give momentum and to his mace, and he was bringing it down. And he was dizzy, but suddenly he could feel Arjuna's eyes on him, and for a split second he looked at his brother, and Arjuna immediately tapped his thigh. And Bhima understood. And the next time Duryodhana jumped up, he lifted his mace and with all his strength, he smashed his thigh. Now that was a mortal wound, and Duryodhana's thigh was completely mangled, and he lay there on the battlefield wounded and screaming in pain. And Bhima started jumping around. He said, yes, I fulfilled my oath. You insulted my wife. You insulted her to sit on your thigh. No, that day I swore I'll smash it. I've done it now. Okay? And Balarama stepped forward. He said, you're proud of what you've done. Are you proud? Is this what I taught you? I am your guru and I'm ashamed. I taught you the rules of correct conduct. how to fight in a fair combat, and you've insulted me. How dare you do something this disgusting? It's against the rules and you know it. And he picked up his weapon, which was the plough, and he picked it up and he came to kill Bhima. And Krishna stepped between the two of them. He said, Balarama, now is not the time for you to be angry at Bhima. When Duryodhana did all kinds of horrible things, you only advised him, you didn't go and kill him, no? Same thing, you've told what Bhima did was wrong, leave it. Don't attempt to kill him and all, I won't allow it. And Balarama would never ever disobey Krishna. So he just said, he threw down the plough and he said, Bhima, what you've done today is shameful and I will not accept that you won. So don't say you won in this combat. And in disgust, Balarama walked away. And these brothers, they felt a little bad. They felt that things hadn't really gone perfectly. They were all a little heartsick that day. So they decided to rest for a bit and then take care of everything later. The action had concluded. 18 days of a bitter and bloody war. The battle of Kurukshetra is finally over. But unfortunately for the Pandavas, there was a lot of horror awaiting them as well as the survivors. I will tell you all about it in our next episode. In the meantime, please do hit like, share and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tell me your thoughts about the clash between Bhima and Duryodhana as well as the clash between Arjuna and Karna. I look forward to seeing them in the comments section. Thank you very much.
Goodness with care from our villages. Arokya Milk.